Hello guys, and welcome to a new Star Division 2 video today by me, Vulcan. In this one I have for you a first look at the 208th Infantry, a new German division available in the upcoming DLC, Battle of Dukla Pass. As a disclaimer, Eugen has given me free access to the DLC, so a big thanks to them. Also, please remember that this is an early preview and what you see may be subject to change. If you'd like to read the description on the right hand side, feel free to pause the video and take a look, but we're going to be jumping straight on in. As usual, we'll go through all of the units available and we'll put together a quick deck. So starting here in the Recon tab with the BMW R75. 5 points each, 6 available in A, 12 available in B. Fast throwaway recon with radio. Then we have the Aufklärer. The most important thing about this squad is what transports it has with it. You get 8 on a card in Phase B, and you can bring them in with the 20mm SBW222. So that's really nice. Great transport combination, but you have to wait till B until you can use it. Then we have the Jäger Spähtrupp, available in B and C, 6 and 9 on a card, 1 veteran C. Unfortunately, no interesting transports for them. Standard loadout is 2 MP44s and 2 T43s. It's okay. Moving on, we have the Fusilier. 3, 6, and 9 availability across the phases come in at 1 vet. They come in Opel Blitz transports, and it's kind of just your standard 9 strength Fusilier squad with the MG34. It's they're kind of set up like Grens with Recon. That's basically how they go. Then we have the Fusilier with MP44s. Now this is a bit more like it. 2 MP40s, 6 MP44s, and the MG34. Very nice squad indeed for 20 points. Again, 9 strength with the exceptional stealth and very high optics. Only available in B though. Moving on, we have the standard Spähtrupp available in B and C. So 6 available in B, 9 available in C. No interesting transports, but certainly an upgrade, I think, from the Jäger Spähtrupp in terms of weapons. But the Jäger Spähtrupp for a 4-man squad is quite nice and cheap. You know, so it's 15 points for a 4-man, which is very nice. It means they're a lot less likely to get killed off by stray artillery. And there's a card of SBW231s available in Phase B, 8 on a card at 1 vet. And we have the Aufklärer Panzer IV-J, which is also available in Phase B, which is certainly starting to look like a trend. You're probably going to have some of these Fusiliers in Phase A. Right, moving on to the Infantry tab. Ersatztruppen. 9 strength, 27 on a card, only available in Phase B. Grenadier with the Granatbuchse is actually a pretty nice squad. Like 20 points for an MG42 squad is really good. And with the Granatbuchse as well, yeah, these really aren't too bad. 18 and 27 available in B and C. Moving on, we have the Gren MG42. Like in most cases, you might as well bring up the Grenadier with the Granatbuchse instead. But this is just a standard Gren without any AT, available in A, B, and C. 9, 18, 27 availability. Still decent for 20 points with an MG42. And we've got Grenadier MP44, which is a very interesting squad, much more efficient at sort of medium ranges due to the MP44s. So 2 MP40s, 6 MP44s, and the MG42. So 24 and 36 availability is really, really good. Then we have Grenadier with Panzerfaust, again for 20 points, 8 available in A, 16 in B, and 24 in C. I think generally speaking, you might look at these and go, well, why don't you just always take the Panzerfaust? Well, the main thing about the one without the Panzerfaust is it does have more availability, but when you up-bet them in Phase A, you actually have the same amount of availability between the two cards. So that would be my recommendation when to use the Grenadiers with Panzerfaust. Just bring them in Phase A with 1 bet. It's a nice addition. We have your Jaeger card for 20 points. 24 available in B, 32 in C. Like infantry availability in this stack is certainly not going to be a problem because there is so much availability on these cards. But yeah, 7 MP40s really does junk at close range. That's 2.8 damage, 2 G43s, MG42 for the longer range engagement, plus the Panzerfaust. Jaeger squads are actually pretty good for their cost. And then we've got Jägerführer, 6 available in B, 9 available in C. 4-man leader with 2 MP40s, 2 MP44s and a Panzerfaust. Do have radio and very good stealth. You'll probably want to have smoke on these ideally, but I mean for 20 points it's okay. Then we have the Pioneers, 5, 10, 15 availability as standard. We've seen these squads plenty of times before, but 2 MP40, 7 Kar-98, MG34 and the HE grenade. We've got the Pioneer Führer, which is the 4-man leader squad with the HE grenade. I think for 20 points these are okay as well. You know, they're providing that leadership and radio on the front line, and if anything finds them at close range, then you can do a bit of damage to them with that grenade whilst you fall back. So yeah, it's okay. And then there's Grenführer, which is another nice choice just because they have smoke, but they are more expensive. So 3, 6 and 9 availability coming in at 1 vet. In terms of transports, nothing crazy going on there. Then we have the Jaeger MP44. Very interesting squad. 8 MP44s, Kar-98 sniper with the Panzerfaust 60. They are shock trait, so MP44s plus shock is going to be really nasty. 12 strength or 12 availability in B, 18 in C. We got Jaeger Pioneers, so MP40, T43s, 8 of those. They've got an MG42 and the HE grenade. Pretty reasonable Pioneer squad that can also engage at longer range. Panzergrenführer, standard 4-man squad with the smoke grenade again. Very similar to the Grenführer, just different outfits. And yeah, these coming in at phase B only at 1 vet. Then there's Sturm Pioneer, your standard 6-man flamer squad with the 5 MP40s and the flamethrower. Does have the shock trait available in A and B. Then we have Jaeger MG42. Now this squad is very, very good at deleting enemy infantry. You get these in phase B only, and they come in at 1 vet. You get 3 MP44s, 2 Kar-98s, and 3 MG42s. This is huge, plus a Kar-98. So it's like a Fallschirmjäger ZF, but even better, almost. I guess it is better, really, for the cost. And then we've got the Panzer Grenadiers, your standard Panzer Grenadiers for 30 points, available in B and C, although they don't have any half-tracks, so that's kind of sad, but otherwise, decent long-range squad with double MG42. So, pretty solid infantry. For killing enemy infantry, they are going to struggle for dealing with like specialist close-range infantry, I think, because you're limited almost solely to the Pioneer squads. Like if you come across a lot of flamers, like Sturmer VQ Rocks, for example, would be really good against these guys. Then we have the tank tab. So tank tab, pretty simple. We've got 2 cards of Panzer IVs. They come in phase B and C, so 10 and 15 on a card. Generally always want to double vet these for the extra rate of fire and accuracy. But otherwise, decent gun with 135mm of penetration at 1750 meter range. And then you have the leader variant, which again is only available in phase B. With the leader variant, upvetting them is always nice because it doesn't really reduce availability that much whilst improving the performance of the tank greatly. Same deal with the Stug. These are only available in A though in this deck. And again, you probably want to be double vetting them for the rate of fire and accuracy. And moving on to the support, we have the Feldgendarmerie. No interesting transports for them. There isn't really many infantry other than the ersatz that are disheartened. So I don't think the Feldgendarmerie are really going to be making too much of a showing in this deck, but they are there. Then we've got the MG34, which is okay. Not a huge fan of the MG34 as an MG team, like because of the MG42 always outclassing it. Like that extra accuracy there and rate of fire makes such a big difference. You see the damage goes up as well because of that. So yeah, anyway, MG34, 6, 12, 18 availability. If you want more availability of machine guns, then MG34s are the way to go, but MG42s are just greater on their own. Then we have the IG-18 without its gun shield. 8 available in B, 12 available in C. And then the IG-18 with its gun shield, available in A, B, and C, 4, 8, 12 availability on those. Then we have the MG42, 5, 10, 15 availability. Double vetting these is always really nice because they're just so strong. And there is also the Jaeger variant, which just has the Jaegers manning it instead of the standard Grenadiers. So yeah, this is just available in B and C, a little bit of flavor. There's also the IG-37, which is an interesting assault gun. Comparatively to the IG-18, it has slightly more penetration on its heat round, and it's slightly more accurate as well, so that's nice. I'm not sure if there's any difference in the HE though. No, doesn't seem like it. But the HE AT, the heat shell, slightly better on the IG-37, which is cool. Then we've got Opel Blitz. There are 3 cards available of these, 2, 4, 6 availability, of course. IG-33 card, 3 and 6 availability, available in A and B. And then for commanders, you've got the motorcycle, the 4-man leader squad, and the Befehl Panzer IV. Moving on to the anti-tank, we have Panzerschreck teams, lots of them. So 3 cards of Panzerschreck teams, 2 are standard squads, so 4, 8, 12 availability with that Panzerschreck. Really, really good weapon, 200mm of penetration at 250m range. For infantry, it's fantastic. And then there's also the Panzerjäger, which is a 6-man team, comes in phase B with the Panzerschreck. These are really, really nice. Then we've got captured 45mm. This is an M42 captured from the Soviets. So 6, 9, and 12 availability. I think if you're going to use these, always bring them to vet. Captures this 3 and 6 availability on these. Then there's the Marder 2, available in B and C. 10 and 15 availability. Another one that you probably want to double vet. Marder 3s, again, double vet. Get all of the extra power out of those. But otherwise, yeah, really, really good value for money Marders. And then we got pack 40s, so 3, 5, 8 availability. Really not a fan of the availability curve on these because it makes the vetting them up kind of awkward, other than in phase A. But you do get 2 cards of them, so that's nice. And there's also the pack 43, which is very, very important for taking out harder targets like IS-2s. So yeah, it's nice to have a pack 43 card in there that you can use to take out those hard-hitting targets. And moving on to anti-air, we have Flak 38s, and unfortunately no exciting 20mm transports for these, so they're on their own. Phase B and C, 9 and 12 availability. I think if you are going to bring them in later phases, consider upvetting them, at least to 1 vet. And then we got the Gebirgsflak as well, which does get radar trait, so it does have exceptional stealth. It can be maybe used more in a frontline support role because it'll be able to hide itself better. But either way, 6, 9, 12 availability. Flak 43. Flak 43 is really nice because it has more rate of fire than the Flak 37. So yeah, decent gun. And again, with some extra veterancy, it can be really, really strong. They're only available in B, 6 on a card. And we've got 2 cards of Flakverlings, so that's really nice. 2, 4, 6 availability. Once you get to the late game, upvetting them is always a nice idea. But quad 20mm, always been a fantastic piece of AA. And then there's 1 card of the SDK Z71, available in B. Yeah, again, it's just the same gun, mounted on a truck. A little bit more vulnerable to artillery because of that. It can get 1 shot by artillery, much more easier than the Flakverling can because the Flakverling has more health technically. But yeah, either way, let's move on to the artillery. Starting off with the Beobachter, which is your 2-man artillery observers. They can be brought in with the Kubel MG, which is always a nice combination because the recon on the Kubel MG is useful. And it can just be used as a throwaway. But otherwise, not exciting transports and standard squad. 3 available in A, 6 in B. Battlefield 2, 4, 6 availability. Standard stuff. Able to give radio trait to other artillery guns using the artillery leader trait. And it also reduces dispersion of non-mortar units. Then we've got the LFH 105, so 369 availability. I think we're going to see people using these more just because they're a lot cheaper now. So that's nice. And then we've got 81mm mortar, 4.8, 12 availability, great for providing smoke and sort of just suppressing enemy infantry as you approach. We've got the Jaeger version, which is a raider trait, so a bit more stealth on that, but doesn't make too much of a difference. 8 available in B, 12 available in C. Can't bring them in A, so probably not going to see them used too often. Then we have the Vespa, the 105. So this is the same gun as this, just mounted, basically. And they're okay. They really do require maybe a little bit of veterancy to increase the rate of fire. And then also just corrected shot, maybe even like artillery lead nearby. Then we've got 120mm mortars available in B and C, 8 and 12 availability. There is 105s in there. The SK 105 available in Phase B. That's a perfectly fine time to get them, which is nice. Just because like in Phase B is generally when you start to want to do some like serious counter battery, and these are perfect for that because of their smaller dispersion. These are quite the opposite though. These have very big dispersion. The SFH 414, the Schneider 155mm, 2 and 4 availability in A and B. Really good for just pinning down and potentially killing off support weapons in the early game, and infantry, of course. Whenever you're in like an engagement, just dropping 155mm rounds nearby is always going to be helpful. And then the Hummel, available in B and C. Availability on these always leaves a lot to be desired, unfortunately. And then finally, the 172mm, available in A, B, and C. This could be very good to have even early. You only get one card of them, but it's a solid artillery piece. And if it's going to hit armor, it's going to do a lot of damage. Moving on to the air tab, we have the BF-109 Recon, so 2 and 4 availability at 1 vet. There's also the Ju-87 with the 2 250kg bombs and the 500kg bomb. 2, 4, and 7 availability on those. Nice to have in the early game before the AA builds up a lot. But if people bring in AA early, then maybe having overwhelming numbers in the late game can also be a way to use them. In the mid game, they don't tend to do too well. For the BF-109 G6, 4 in A, 8 in B, 12 in C. Always want to double vet these though, and probably bring them in pairs when you bring them in, because they don't really have that much damage between the 20mm and the 30mm guns. So yeah, they need to be doubled up most of the time. Ju-87 with cluster, nice cluster AP. Honestly, really good unit. 3, 4, and 6 availability, great for killing armor in the early game. Ju-87s, only 1, 2, and then 4 availability on these. They used to be really, really oppressive before they reduced the availability. So I won't say that it's low, but it can be difficult to warrant bringing these sometimes because of their lower availability over things like cluster AP. And then we got the BF-109 G14, which instead of a 20mm on the nose is a 30mm on the nose, and these are very fast. You see 670km/h speed, really, really good. If you're going to bring them in, might as well double vet them in Phase C. And then we've got Ju-88s, so these are equipped with 2 500kg bombs, 1 in A, 4 in B, and 6 in C, so you start to build up those bomber wings potentially. Then there's the Focke-Wulf 190 F8 with the Panzerbuchsenrohr, which is basically Panzerschreck strapped under the wing. 2, 4, and 6 availability. Yet to actually try them in game, but I think they're going to be pretty good for wiping out tanks. Like, it's 4 damage, you'd only need 3 to hit in order to kill a heavy tank. I guess it's 3 to hit also to kill a medium tank. So yeah, if 3 of these rockets hit the mark, the enemy's dead. So that's pretty good. 3 out of 8 is really, really strong. Yeah, nice. And then we got the Ju-88A4, which is 1, 2, and 4 availability. The 4 250 kilogram bombs and 28 50 kilogram bombs. It's actually an okay loadout. If you have both support weapons and infantry in the same place that you want to bomb, then it can work very nicely. Just because the 50 kilograms will sort of suppress infantry, whilst the 250s kind of deal with the sort of support weapons and maybe vehicles sometimes if they get direct hits, but it's kind of difficult when you're using these bombers. All right, any interesting defenses here? Just a lot of MG bunkers and stuff. That's okay. All right, let's go back to the recon, build just a quick deck. So in phase A, I guess it has to be Fusiliers because they're the only ones really available in phase A. And then in phase B, I'm thinking of bringing some 222s with the Aufkader. I think it's just such a nice combination. Do I want to then also bring... I might bring 2 Vet Aufkader Panzer IV Js. The rest I don't think is necessary. Like the MP44 infantry is really nice. Maybe I can drop them in there as well. We might have to come back and strip those out though. Alright, infantry tab. So MG42 infantry squads for sure. And we're going to have 9 of those in B. Just trying to think if there's any other specific units that I want to have. Like these guys, for example, might be quite nice. Yeah, we'll bring those in phase C with 2 veterancy. I think the Granatbuchse Gren is a nice idea. Do I want them in phase B or phase C? We'll probably do them in phase C for now. In terms of leaders, what do I want? I'm thinking Pioneer Führers for A, and then potentially Jägerführer or Panzergrenführer for phase B. I think Jägerführer because they're cheaper is fine. We'll bring them in phase B. For close range, I think Sturmpios in A and in B is a good idea, but we only have 1 card of them. So I'm going to put them in A for now. We'll do Jaeger Pioneers in B. That's going to be our phase B sorted, phase C sorted. So we just got to work out what we want in phase A. We might be kind of limited on options here, but I guess we can do double Gren with Panzerfaust. Gren MP44s are nice, but I don't think it is better than the other options we already have, unless I maybe put them in C instead of the Grenadier with Granatbuchse. That might be an idea. Because we are going to have plenty of Panzerfaust anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. And that's a pretty nice infantry tab. Yeah, some of this is a little sad because I think, you know, units like the Grenadier Granatbuchse are okay. It's just not really going to have much room for them. Like another unit in phase A would be a good idea. Not really many choices. Like I think we could just do like another unit of Grens. Alright, we'll leave it at that. So for this tab, we're going to do phase B, phase C, phase A. Maybe I want to do like phase B, Panzer IV Führer. And then support. In the IG-33's got to go in, I just don't know what phase to put it in. Probably phase A is fine. Because IG-37s are only available in B, and I want to try them out, so we'll bring them in. The rest is just going to be supply and commander, so we'll probably go for infantry commander. Just easier to hide. Then we've got anti-tank, so Panzerjäger in B for sure. I think we bring them in at 1 vet just so they have 100% accuracy on the Panzerstreck. We'll do Panzerstrecks in A, of course. And then I'm thinking Marders is a good idea, so phase B Marder. Phase A Marder. That will support the tanks quite nicely. Then Pack 43 is going to be really important. So do I want to upvet those? Maybe not. Availability is going to be important there. Alright, AA. 43 mil in Phase B for sure. Then we want probably just flag fillings in A. Artillery. I'm thinking we do SK-105s in B. We do... maybe I do bring these in C. Yeah, we get the big boys out in the late game. And then early game, I'm thinking mortars, or maybe just 105s. Something like that. With the Battleführer. Right, air tab. Definitely Focke-Wulf 190s. I don't know what phase I need them in though. Probably Phase B. How many do I get in B? 4? We do start getting the Pack 43 in B, so maybe I should leave them to C with some C Phase 109s. And do 110E early game. Maybe just some like early game Ju-87s. Just for sort of dealing with any potential breakthrough. Right, that's going to be all of the points set out. I feel like we're light on anti-air, but I could always fix that by like down-vetting these because they don't need veterancy to be effective. So that should sort out our AA needs. Anti-tank's good, although we don't have many AT guns. Like, not having Phase A Pack 40s, for example, is going to be kind of rough. I'm feeling like we have to pull out the Fusiliers with MP44s in favour of Pack 40s in Phase A. Yeah, I think that's going to be a better for this deck. Cool. I mean, I like this deck. It kind of seems like, in terms of infantry, very similar to the 28th Jaeger we already have. Like, the overall composition is kind of similar. Artillery options are different because I think in the 28th Jaeger you actually get Nobelwerfers, which are really strong. But yeah, air tab is potentially stronger. So, yeah. Interesting division. I really like some of these Jaeger squads. Obviously, like the triple MG squads are going to be interesting to see how well they perform. Well, you know that they're going to perform well, but like really how quickly do they kill something is going to be something to figure out. Yeah. Looking forward to playing with it. Hopefully you guys are too. But that's all from me for now. I just realized I didn't put any supply in here. We'll probably have to supplement supply in this tab. Let's do multiers on the 105s. There we go. That should sort that problem. Yeah, I should have brought in some Survival Blitz. Alright, well, it doesn't really matter. MG42s could also go in there at some point, but yeah, otherwise, all good. Alright, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.